Hello and welcome to a level 95 opinionated setup guide. This is how I play my characters is effectively how it goes, right? So Ketka here is a level 95 Shaman, and we're gonna kind of I'm gonna show how I set it up, and this may or may not be useful if you don't box. If you box, it might be useful. If you don't box, it might be useful. I'm gonna kind of show how I play her and how I use her when I play Tuwani over there. All right, so just to kind of set this up, right? I have Tuwani over here. She's doing nothing, and I have my Bard over here, Nilv, playing nothing right now. So they're just doing absolutely nothing right now, right here, and the whole point of them is Tuwani has to have a target, because all my macros are based around X target and having everybody kind of show up correctly. That is the wrong one. Set up. There we go. Perfect. So you can kind of see here I use X target like this. So X target 1 is Tuwani, X target 2 is Nilv, X target 3 is Ketka. And this corresponds to the way I have my windows set up, right? I have a window here, right next to it. When I click over to this one, it goes to Nilv. And then when I click the next one, it goes over to Ketka here. So you can see here, she's right here. So some of this stuff I have set up. So my one key, I have group cheetah. So this is the group... it's like Celos, it just makes you move really fast. It's like Spirit of Wolf, this only lasts like 48 seconds, but it makes them run faster, which keeps them together, right? So the Bard has that, and it lasts 5 minutes, but it stacks with it, and there's no benefit, there's no negative to me running it. So if she gets lost behind, I can always just get it going, right? My next button is attack spam. So typically when I'm playing from Tuwani, right? And I'm pretty much spamming, like when I did her video, right? I spam 1 through 4, or yeah, I guess 1 through 4, and then I hit 5 situationally, right? So when I hit 2 on Tuwani, it hits 2 on all the other characters. So using IS Boxer, and so her number 2 corresponds to a simple attack macro here. Which will go to X target 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, which is currently set to the group main assist target. So Tuwani is the group main assist and the main tank. So the way I have the X targets, extended targets here set up, the combat dummy here is number 4. So she's going to target that. She's going to tell her pet to attack. She's going to do pet swarm. There's a Shaman spell. It's this one. No, it's not that one. Spirit Call? Yeah. Spirit Call here will summon up a pack of 5 level 96 wolves to attacks. And those become swarm pets that you can control if you use Pet Swarm. So that's why that's there. I also turn on attack to melee. Yeah, you might not be like, why would you melee? So at higher levels, the weapons for both casters and healers and obviously melee all have procs, and you get remote. So like if I heal somebody, it's gonna trigger, right? Sometimes if I cast a spell, it'll trigger, and if you melee, sometimes it will also trigger. So having that in there, just because the way I run them most of the time is on auto follow, so they're all following me with the in-game follow, and you see how I like maneuver around to position everybody and whatnot. So I'll just, she swings. If it doesn't, it doesn't. She's not going to do a lot of damage. If we go over here to the target dummy, right, and just turn it on, right, so hopefully she doesn't get killed, right? She's only hitting for like 250, right? This is like nothing. So keep that in mind. And then I also have Merc Assist in here. So sometimes, you see in some of the videos, I turn off Merc Auto Assist. So right down over here, auto assist. I click that off. So if I'm trying to do something tricky, or I just don't want the mercenaries to get involved right away, I turn that off, and this just automatically turns them back on. And attacks X target 4. Pretty self-explanatory there. And then number 4, so X target 4, so it targets the enemy. So I have a lot of these that just kind of retarget things sometimes, but so it'll retarget whatever the assist is, and then it will cast Talisman of the Lion. This is a really good spell that Shaman should be casting all the time. It adds a proc buff to everybody. Let's see here, where is the icon for that? Talisman of the Lion right here. So, you know, it doesn't even say what the attack is, but it does a few thousand damage every proc. Now, note that the Shaman has it, the Bard has it, and the Mercenaries have it. So if I click on I have Healer Mercenary right now. My pet also gets it too. So the pet gets it, everybody gets it, right? Everybody gets Talisman of the line, which adds proc damage. And when I'm swinging my mace here, I will also get that proc damage. So it's very beneficial. This only lasts for like a minute, so I kind of recast it. And I'm kind of jumping in back and forth with the monk, right? But these are all designed to work well together. So the monk on 4, I have, you know, Drunken Monkey Fist and all these short-term buffs that she can also cast. So I'm trying to create synergy, right? To get it so that they are not doing, you know, weird stuff at weird times, and trying to time all that up. So she'll cast that, then she'll cast 3, which is Group Heal. So it's a group heal over time. If you know Torpor or that line of spells, it's Group Torpor. A little less effective than the single target one, but I don't cast the single target one. All right, and then on 5, I have a group, just a group button. Does a lot of group stuff. So this one actually does Freezing Gift, and then so Freezing Gift. I should probably explain that one. Freezing Gift is a nuke that will. So I'm gonna target Tawani, right? It's going to cast a nuke on Tawani's target. Some of these new spells are kind of like that as we start getting deeper into the high-end game. So I'm going to target her. It's going to cast on the combat dummy, right? So, and it just does that, and then it grants me 2 charges of healing twin cast. Now, this macro is not as efficient as it should be because it's not casting. It shouldn't be casting 3 there. It should be casting probably 1. Actually, let's go ahead and change that. And then 11, it does Talisman of the Lion. And then 4, it does Intervention. I don't like that, so I'm going to change this on the fly and change this back to 3. And I don't know why that is a 200. This should be only 20. All right, so when I cast this one, right? So Freezing Gift, the nuke goes over there. Right, and then if the timings are right, so she just Reckless on Tawani. Now she's gonna Talisman of the Lion, and then she should do Phantom Renewal, Group Heal. There we go. So one button, as many actions as we can jam into it as possible. All right, so and then burns. This is kind of like I have a universal 7, 8, and 9 on the Bard, the Monk, and the Shaman here. And this is just things that are like long duration, benefits the group in some way that would be beneficial during a burn. Not necessarily damage in the case of the Shaman, but in the case of the other 2 characters, that is all pure damage. This is more, I'm trying to put out as much healing as I can so that I don't have to worry about dying. And it kind of works. It's the Shaman, I'm doing it more defensively, so I do silent casting first. That prevents, that lowers my aggro against whatever I'm casting after that. So next is Call of the Ancients. Let me see if I can find that one real quick. Call the Ancients. This one will activate it'll summon a stationary ward and cast a heal on everybody in the range. 2400 health every 6 seconds for 300 seconds. So this is just immediately we're getting lots of healing over time out, right? And then we're gonna do Fleeting Spirit next, which allows you to twin cast 7 damage over time abilities. So this is not really being used as much, but it does let us do 7 twin cast heal over time spells. So when I cast the next group heal, Phantom Renewal, it will twin cast that. So Soothsayer's Intervention, which casts my highest level intervention spell right here in the intervention spells. This is kind of like a there's a cleric ability that kind of does this. What it does is it balances like the health of everybody, and the lowest person with the lowest health gets the biggest heal. So it's really nice. And then Ancestral Aid. Come on, really? So it heals all group members in a 200-foot range for another 880 over time, and increases their maximum stats by 200. So this is another just we're pushing as much heals as we possibly can. So if I was like fighting a boss and I knew I was going to have an issue with the boss or named, this is immediately what I'd be hitting, right? And then on the second macro, I have X target 1, which targets Tawani, just to make sure she's targeted, just in case. And we do Ancestral Guardian, which is, I think it's this one. This puts a damage absorb on me, the Shaman. And then Union of Spirits, which is down here. Activated, heals your target. So this will heal Tawani for 12,000 hit points, and then 9,000 over time. So if she's taking so much damage she dies, well, we tried. I think that's just pretty much how it goes, right? And then also after that one, I do Spirit Call. Like these activate fairly quickly, so I just hit the button a few times and all these things activate within seconds. So the order, you could probably put it first if you wanted to, but this will summon the swarm pets and get them going, right? And then these will 60 seconds of 5 level 96 wolves. It does substantial damage. Like they proc a 2000 proc, and if I am able to get, I believe, Spirit or Talisman of the Lion up during this while they're up, I believe they will accept the buff, and they will also proc Spirit of the Lion, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And then I do Companion Fortitude, which is an archetype. So Companion Fortification here just it increases the pet's armor class and all that stuff. So if something goes terribly wrong, like it gives, this is a nice 10-minute buff for the pet, right? So if something goes terribly wrong, Tawani dies, and all that's left is the Bard and the Shaman. The Shaman pet can kind of get in there and take a few hits. I run 2 mercenary healers, so theoretically they would keep one of the pets up, the Shaman pet. So it is what it is, but there we go. I also have a slow macro, so this one, X target 4, so that's the target that's being attacked currently. When I do the Bard video, see how I do the extra targets. So what I cast is let's see, which one is that? I cast the AoE slow. I don't know. See some comments on the videos, tell me to slow everything. I just don't care about slowing everything. And most of the time, it's not really worth my time, honestly. I AoE slow, so everything that's in camp at the time, I have 30 seconds to recast that. AoE slows everything, AoE cripples everything. It's just good. So if we go like, I'm gonna hit this button now. So she's casting the slow. and I have Mallow commented out right now, and then the pet starts attacking, right? And that's just kind of like a basic assist I have for if I don't want to click any of the other stuff right now. So if I just tell him to stop and back off, there we go. So yeah, let's put him on G hold just in case. But it's just there. It sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. Like slowing, like 1 to 60, slowing. You should probably slow everything. 60 plus, things start resisting it, and it goes from like a 60% slow to like a 20% slow. It's not as it's worth it, but it's not as crucial on normal trash mobs, right? Like I've never had 20 die tanking normal trash mobs, only named for the most part, unless I get too many. So, you know, and I running 2 healers, they're always at full mana plus the Shaman to heal too. So that doesn't really affect me too much. See here. And then I think that's intervention. Yeah, I just have intervention on the hotkey. Then tranquil blessings and mass group buff. So tranquil blessings is it's just like mass group buff, but it's quicker. I think it just doubles the regen time, and it's got some different conditions on it, but it effectively a buff more than your group. So if you have like a raid, you're going to be using tranquil blessings or mass group buff to put those buffs on those raid. Pack of the Wolf. This is I have the illusion block, but it turns everybody in the group into a werewolf and gives you a nice little stat buff right here. I believe it's your Pack of the Form. It doesn't tell me. Here we go. Here we can see the stats. So this gives us haste. So 60% haste just having the buff. Increases the maximum health, mana, and endurance by 3,800. So just being in a group with a shaman, you get that free. You know, we're all capped on haste, right? The bard can do over haste, which you know, makes that a little bit more beneficial. Let's see here, and then I have my primary anchor, secondary anchor, not really class specific to the shaman, but these will teleport me back here to my guild hall. The fellowship insignia teleports me back to wherever my fellowship campfire is. I've done a video on that before. And then I have my stein. This is like, if I'm in a situation where I need to get out really quick and I remember to do it, I always forget, I can hit the stein and I'll instantly teleport me to Plane of Knowledge. I think it's like a 0.5 second recast or cast time, so it's pretty quick. Throne of Heroes, that puts me back in guild lobby. Origin, I think it takes her to Crescent Reach. I think that's where she's bound. Yeah, Crescent Reach is where I spawned her. So I have 3 target heals. So I use an MMO mouse. I use a Corsair mouse. I don't know the number on it. I'm trying to look at it. It doesn't have any identifications on it. It just says Corsair. I used to use the Razer MMO mouses, and I stopped using those because about 1 million clicks in, they stop working, and they're just absolute trash. And it's just like a pain to go get another one. But I have a bunch of these Corsair ones that I picked up. So when I was true boxing on Jelinek, I had like 6 of them on the same desk, and I could just do everything from from just the mouse. But so the way I have this is when I hit Shift Num 1, which is Shift 1 on the mouse, it will cast this row here. So you can see my heal macro is pretty much the same for all the characters. It's target, the person I want to heal, right? So Tawani, Nilv, or myself, Ketka. And then I cast 5, which is a Frozen Gift, or Freezing Gift now, which will give me Twin Cast, right? And then I cast 1, which is Reckless Remedy. Cast 2, which is Golgatan's Mending. And then I cast 3, which is Phantom Renewal. So if we look at these 2 spells here real quick. Reckless Remedy is a faster cast time. It's 2.2 seconds. It's pretty fast. The mana's a little high. It's got a recast time, but it heals for 2,000 damage more than the mending spell. But it also damages me. I'll show that here in just a second. So the way this macro here works is I target Tawani, right, or whoever I'm healing. I cast I forgot the name, but already Freezing Gift, which will then nuke the combat dummy, and then it'll cast Reckless Remedy, and then it'll cast Goktar's Mending. So that's 20k, because this is going to get twin casted, right? So if we go over here, I think it's spells. I think this one will show it. So let's go ahead and so it's going to do 20k, you know, it'll twin cast that, and then it'll do 16k here. So, and then it'll group heal to heal me back for the damage I lost from, or the damage I took from Reckless Remedy. So let's go ahead and I'm going to target, I'm going to heal Tulmani. So say I target her. I Freezing Gift over there, and now I'm Reckless Remedy. So spell damage, right? So where do I have the healing going? Oh, here we go. So here's all my healing. I think this is all the healing right here. What is this one? Spells. Heals on others. Alright, so it doesn't show. There we go. No, it does not show. Let me look on 20, or maybe it'll show like how much she got healed for. There we go. No, that's not it. It's just abundant healing. Casting that. Yeah, I guess because I'm full life, it's not going to show. I probably need to get my parser going. Do that while we're waiting here. So, like, let's do this again. Watch. So I'm gonna go right here, Freezing Gift, and see here's the twin cast buff right here. Reckless is gonna take 1 charge. There we go. And then the next, and then Mending. Got the cans. Mending takes the other one, and then Group Heal to kind of just take care of any other healing. And I do that for all the characters, so they all have the same macro here for hitting all that and whatnot. So, and then I have another macro for heal X target 20. So the only on the Shaman do I have X target 20 set, because she's the only one that uses it. And this is for when I had a mercenary tank. I was doing the same thing. So if the mercenary healer could not keep the mercenary tank up, I would, you know, try to back up and heal, but it just didn't work out ever in that regard at all. All right, here's the log parser. So if we go here and we go to healing chart, who are we looking at? We're looking at Tawani's log. So let's do this. Let's bring her over here and just hit this thing. All right. Now I'm going to hit Shift 1, Freezing Gift, and Reckless Remedy. And the Mending should pop up now. Or log parser, so we go here to the second one. Alright, and we go to Ketka, and we can kind of see that we did 28,000 damage, right? I don't know, the healing hasn't come in yet. Here, let's turn 20 off. Alright, so now that should pop in. Let's just click off it, click it back on. Maybe it'll load it and show some actual data. I don't know. Let's see here, spellcast timeline. Let's see here, damage breakdown. Selected, there we go. So we can see the spells but I want to see. I want to see how much healing she did. Yeah. I'm not sure. It's just not working the way I thought it would. But yeah, that's how I have that macro. And then let's see here. I have another macro just for casting gift and reckless if I need small heals. So like on easier content, when all I need is that. I do that, and then I have another macro for sloth, which is called apathy at this level. I think the first one you get at level 60 or 70 is called sloth. So what this will do is it'll cast apathy, which is it's a proc buff that you put on your tank, and it will slow the mobs that are hitting the target, right? So it's pretty nice. It's got charges on it, so let's go ahead and click on there. So like apathy, and then I think I have unfettered growth. Yeah, unfeathered growth is another good one to cast on your tank. Not Shadow Knights. They have a self buff that does this, but this increases the maximum hit points by 9,600, but it decays over time. So I usually cast this right before I do a named, just to get that extra, 10,000 hit points. I mean, this puts Tawani at what, 114,000 hit points. So, that's 9,600 hit points. She didn't have before, and then Sloth on top of that. Which, if we go over here, let's see if I can find the buff. Apathy right here, 240 charges, and it just every hit gives a chance to proc slow, and just kind of redo that every so often kind of thing. All right, and see here, summon banker and all that's junk. Group shrink, I shrink all my characters just because it makes the auto follow, I don't know, it makes auto follow work a lot better. I don't know why. Like having if you have different size characters, the way I auto follow, or they all kind of attack this, within that circle range of the auto follow, it doesn't work really well. I haven't figured out the best way to that. Is the hitboxes change on the characters, and it just fits right. So I also have a group up macro that just invites 20, but here's this one. So I don't know if I've ever shown this macro before. So on Tawani, right, I have invite Ketka, invite Nilv, and then I set my roles, right? And then over here on each of these characters, when I click follow, so in IS Boxer, Alt F, so I have this macro here trigger when I hit Alt F. It hits on all the characters at the same time. So they all stand up, they all target Tawani, and they all follow Tawani. So using the in-game follow, both the Bard and the Shaman cast Cheetah and Celos, and then they invite Tawani. Now this is an interesting thing. If you have, when you're trying to join a group, right, and it says follow, if you type invite to the person that invited you, it will join the group. And I found that out accidentally, making some macros, but that way I don't have to go to every single one of them and click follow. I can just kind of have it set up to automatically do it. Works really well for me. I wish there was more like slash macros in this game, but there isn't. Let's see here. That's all of those. These are all just special AA abilities that you get here, like summon banker, summon agent, expedient recovery, just nonsense. Not really important. You don't want to mount as a shaman. While mounted, you regenerate more mana faster. It's equivalent to sitting, I suppose, maybe faster. But it's there. Let's see here. Conspicuous Totem is a feign death ability. So here, let's just go ahead and click it. Turns this into a totem. We lose all aggro, and we gain Evader's invisibility, permanent buff. So we are permanently invisible until we get rid of that. This lasts for, I think it's 50 or 60 seconds, right? A minute, I guess. So this allows you to escape from combat on NPCs that are 5 levels 5 or fewer levels higher than you. Causes you to be the last possible target for rampage attacks, and from the current attacker, mesmerizes you for a minute. So I'm a totem. I can't move. I can't do anything. I can't cast spells. You can click it off and start running again, but for the most part, it's just like an evade out of combat. And I have on all, like on the Bard, I have Fading Memories, and then on Tawani, I just have a empty macro that says Others Fade, so I can feign death. Command, like I'm feign death, I'm safe. But sometimes they need to feign death and be safe, so I have macros for them. All right, let's take a look here. So I've kind of covered like how I have them set up, like how I have her set up and whatnot. There's other things here that are useful, right? So you can do Rabid Bear. That's an AA. That's kind of a burn. I don't really click it on. It turns you into a bear. You do lots of damage, and you can take a little bit more hits. So I don't really use it. It's just not the way I play. But it's there. It's available. So I do have some dot spells. I don't think I have hotkeys for them. Like I have all 3 of the dots memorized. So I have the disease, the poison, and the curse. I have them all memorized. I don't use them. Truth be told, I do not use them as much as I should. Shamans also get the paralyze ability that Necros get that will root everything in front of you and knock it back, or I guess the target. Knock it back with a pretty quick cast time, and it's a 3-minute root. So if I were soloing, this is how I would solo, and this is how I'll be doing it in the heroic shaman video. But you do, paralysis. I can't root this thing here, I don't think. There we go. Just had to target it, and then just go through and cast all the dots. Right. So there's one. I probably can't even cast them on this thing. It's red. There, we landed that one. And I don't have any I don't have any disease. I don't have any conjuration, so let's see if we can get poison on this thing. There we go. So if we go to spell damage, right? So you saw earlier we were hitting for like 200. This dot's hit for 10,000, 37,000 critical, 43,000 critical. So we do a lot of damage. We don't do as much damage as a necromancer, but we do a lot of damage. You can see we lost like a lot of our mana, right? Casting those spells. So if I recast this one, like we're not going to kill this Trini dummy. It can't die. But, we're pretty low on mana. So another cool thing about shamans is cannibalize. I don't have the spell memorized, but you can see here we cannibalized. We got all our mana back. We lost some life. But, there's an easy fix for that, right? Oh, I cast the wrong one. This is the one. This is the one right here. This one will group heal, and there we go. We're back, gonna be back in like 1 tick. So it's, very effective, but it's not as good as Necro. Soloing wise. There you go. So we just keep that on there. If we kind of go over here to the... Oh, come on, really? There we go. If we go to the combat dummy thing here, we can kind of see, in that time she did 1,000,000 damage almost. It's only 9,000 DPS. It's not a lot. It's not a lot at all. So, but it's something extra. Like if I was fighting mobs that lasted long enough for dots to land on, and Tawani wasn't killing it before I could cast the dot, then, or if I was solo trying to, when I go do my Shaman Epic, right? When I start working on the Shaman Epic 2.0 for this character, there's gonna be some stuff I have to solo because, I'm not gonna bring all the characters out to go to the kill a shark and, call Moldscar, right? So stuff like that, it's not a big deal, but I don't really ever use these on while I'm doing experience. Mobs don't last. Nothing lives long enough for a dot to matter in a group, in a non-solo setting. At least for me. I mean, you've seen how fast 20 kills stuff, so. Let's see here. What am I missing? I think I covered everything. There's like, there's other things like Call of the Wild. So if Tawani dies, I can instantly bring Tawani back via resurrection for no experience, and I can do that during combat, right? There's a clicky stick called the Staff of Forbidden Rites. I don't have it yet, and that gives you a right-click resurrection clicky spell that you can resurrect in battle. Shamans, druids, paladins can get that. Paladins don't need it, but and clerics, I guess, but it gives you the ability to battle res. Shamans don't really have that. Shamans do have a 96% res. Where is it at here? I might not have it yet, actually. Let's see here. Archetype. I can't remember the name of it. My other shaman has it. It's like spirit something. I don't know. Silent presence. Oh yeah. Clicky invis. I think I forgot that whole bar over there. There's also a Mallow AA ability. I don't cast it. Like, I haven't really had much issue. Like, I'll get resisted every once in a while, but it's not a big enough deal. And usually by the time I cast Mallow and I cast Slow, the mob's dead. So it's just like annoying, if anything. Where is it? Spirit Guardian. Spiritual Blessing. No. Spiritual Channeling. Spirit Call. Rejuvenation of Spirit. There it is. I don't get it until level 100. So this is an AA ability that will resurrect anybody for 96% res. I run 2 healer mercs. They have the same cleric res. And this can't be used out of combat. So you can use Call the Spirit to get the character back, right? Or, whoever, your group member. But you can't res them unless you're out of combat to give them the experience back. So, and like, they get they get revival sickness and stuff like that. So they're fairly weak when they come back too. So if you think you can make it, bring them back. If you can't, I wouldn't even bother. I typically, if Tawani dies, I can kill whatever I'm fighting off with the Bard, and if I can't, then it is what it is. At least that's my setup, right? You can pick up some other things, like this is Lupine Spirit, right? This is Spirit of Talak, right? I think I used to have it memorized, but this is if I do this, Lupine Spirit will cast Spirit of Talak right here. It'll refresh that. Oh, it's single target. Jeez. There's a group version I have. Spirit of Tal Attack. I guess it's not landing at all. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I don't have that rank yet. I don't know. I don't know why. I have no idea. Something I didn't mention at all was buffs. So at this level, at 95, right, we have Talisman of Kolos Unity. So this just casts all the spells in one shot. If we look at it here, so it gives Mammoth Forth, Reminiscent Foresight, Spirit Resolve, Probing Focus, and it gives us... See, here we go. It gives us the focus ability. I have better stuff on right now. I think that's why none of my spells are landing, because I was in guild lobby with buffs. But that gives us that, and then another spell I cast is Regen Talisman of the Indomitable. Now, it's arguable to say if this regen is actually worth it or not. I feel like any regen is worth it, right? I have currently 2300 combat regen, so let's just cannibalize, right? Like, I'm down at 68 health, right? I just took 30,000 damage from cannibalize. Now, my mercenary is going to immediately heal me, obviously, but and I think she did. I think she's on reactive right now, so she is going to heal me. But that extra regen is very useful, I think, especially when you're getting hit. Like every tick, right? You get that damage back, and especially when you got that going, Phantom Renewal, you got all these different just heal over times. Is kind of, you know, where you're at with the Shaman. So, like this is my setup, right? Like this is how I do it, how I play. So I don't solo my Shaman. I've tried soloing my 120 Shaman before I took all his gear off, and it's not as effective as my Necromancer, right? My Necromancer can go pretty much any zone in the game, and he has no problems. I had issues with my Shaman. My other Shaman's a Ixar. It's probably one of my older videos. He's in there, but I've since stripped all my 120 characters that I don't have on certain accounts because I cut a bunch of my accounts out. But the Shaman solo, like early on in the game, right, from like 1 to 60 back in, you know, actual TOP servers and stuff like that, Shaman solo is great and phenomenal. But Shaman is a group class, in my opinion. They're a support class. These dots, they'll kill stuff, but they're not. I don't think that's where the Shaman is in the later game, like, you know, 100 plus, right? I see Shaman as a support class. It works really well with boxing because, you know, like you can see here, how I have it all set up. Like, if my mercenaries can't keep me alive, the Shamans can be able to put a lot of throughput on me to get me up real quick, right? So it just depends on how you do it. And a lot of my videos, a lot of my guides are all, you know, boxing focused, right? But if I went and tried to find a group right now on any of these characters, I probably couldn't find a group. If we go look at chat window, there's no one looking for group. There's people selling raid loot, but there's no one looking for group. So, and I've been sitting here for a while, and this is all the chat that's come up. There's no scrolling here. And this is on Verant of Eye. So, I mean, the chances of getting a group are low. And, you know, that's the reality of this game. But that's why I box. And that's why I have fun boxing. And that's kind of how this guide is kind of focused around that. You can buy something I forgot to mention. You can buy these spirituality potions in POK, and this will give you the Beast Lord buff. I probably already had one on, I guess. It gives you the Radiance or whatever, Beast Lord, Man Regen, HP Regen, so it gives you a little bit more of that. And you can also buy Clarity potions, but I think I already have, yeah, I already have Spiritual Duration and Voice of Perception, so I'm not going to stack. But and then I have hotkeys over here for changing the stance of the mercenary, so passive, reactive, balanced, right? So I keep them on reactive all the time because they heal faster. Just works better. Perfect levitation, so free, you know, AA levitation. Suspend minion, or suspend companion, I guess. This is like if I want to put my pet away, but I don't want to kill it. I can suspend it and I can bring it back. Like, watch. Here, I'll suspend him. Notice he's fully buffed, right? I can bring him back. And he's still buffed. And I can suspend him. I can summon another one, buff him up, and have 2 pets ready to go. Something that if you've ever watched Zelen of Test Server, he does a Necromancer, or he goes and kills names and stuff like that. He does that with his Necromancer pets all the time. from what I saw last time I watched this video. So it's a good tactic to have a pet backup that you can always bring out without having to resummon it. Silent presence is just group standard invis. Groups standard group silent presence, just group standard invis. Visionary unity. So this doesn't really do much. It will cast the pack spell that we already have. Actually, this is a swarm one, I think, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is the one. It's like a defensive buff, I think. I don't think I ever cast it though. This one will cast whatever that is, and it will. It's kind of like the mage bodyguard. You get hit, it summons some pets to come fight for you. See here, Pack of the Wolf. That's the one we already showed. Where is it at? Pack of the Wolf right here. This is that buff. And Suspend Companion. Apparently, I got that on there twice. So there we go. I mean, there's lots of AAs and stuff like that, and I don't think really of them are much worth going through. Get all the AAs. So I have auto grant on. So there's no. I'm not going out of my way to buy anything. They're all what you get, what you get, right? I'm not going out of my way to do anything here on this one. There's different spells. See here. As you level up, you'll get different AAs and stuff like that. As soon as we get 100, you get different ones. So it's worth it to always have a gold account to get an auto grant, because there's I'm at 95 and I'm already at 12,000 AAs. So quite a bit. But yeah, that was a lot of video, a lot of talking. But that's how I play the Shaman. That's like the solo video for the Heroic 100 will be a little bit different, but for the most part, this is a more in detail guide of how I have it set up with what I'm doing, boxing, right? There are, the Shaman's a great class. I find it works really well with the way I play. So definitely fun. But if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. But keep in mind, this isn't, my opinionated view, right? So, if you play a main Shaman, you're obviously going to have different opinion and different information than how I play. All my Shamans are boxes. I don't main a Shaman. I've never mained a Shaman. I make the Shaman work with whatever I main. So I view them as 100% support class for me. But you can main a Shaman. I do know a lot of people that main them, and they're really good at it. So it's just my way. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching, and have a fantastic day.